Welcome, and I'm going to show off 3 different rockets that I made with reusable first stages to get to Keosyncronous orbit with a relay. My first rocket, my 7-year-old helped build. He wanted to have something that looked like the space shuttle. I made a few modifications so it was actually symmetrical and shortened the payload bay size, but then added a few things he didn't know about, like the flaps, and also did the docking of the relay satellite for him because he didn't know how to do that. I'm doing all the flying and everything. He just wanted to help build. So I've got 4 Kerbals inside, and they're having a fun time. I sped this up in post because watching 3 different rockets get to Keosync would take quite a while. I think it was something like an hour and a half of film or something like that. Anyway, so you can see I have a bunch of solar panels and 3 little Oscar B uh, fuel tanks. Got 2 little antenna and 2 larger antennas on the side. I'm using, I think, the SETI 3 part from mod, and there I am at 2.863 million meters, and now I'm circularizing. I did leave my my shuttle in I think it was a circular orbit if I remember right, and when I go back to it, it wasn't really circular, but it was close enough. It comes in at, I think it says 54. No, it might have been higher because I didn't see a trajectory's red line. It's a little harder to see. I should make my screen larger while I'm recording this. I'm using some new software that I just bought before I went on Christmas break. It's, I think, called Cyberlink Power something or other. Let's see. Cyberlink Power Director 15. So hopefully I can make my videos a little bit more interesting and edit them in post so that they can be a little bit more concise. I think I'm doing somewhere between 4 and 6x speedx in post, plus I'm doing physical time warp on some of this, so some of this stuff is a bit sped up, which hopefully doesn't make you too nauseous. Coming in hot, and I'm showing off what the Kerbals look like inside with the new, I think, added in 1.1, where you can view inside the cockpits. Anyway, so I'm spinning around. So far I've not used any parachutes. Now I'm going to use a parachute just because I cannot get the butt down. The nose just wants to stay down. And so the parachute is really just for that. And here is my second attempt, which I call the Falcon 1. It has 4 vectors on the bottom with a, whatever that is, 1.25 meter to 4 coupler, and then on top I have a nice fairing surrounding my similarly, if not perfectly similar, built relay probe. This one I get a few more Oscars, and I put a larger antenna on top. And I do not go circular with my first stage. I just remain suborbital. And so because of that, I just get into orbit and I switch back before it burns up in the atmosphere. I have a little bit of RCS on top and some, I think in this one I have just 4 of the little flaps that come down there for litho braking. I'm going to move my fuel to the lower tank by transferring it so that I have a more bottom heavy ship. I do not have any parachutes in this, and my first try, the gimbal was just too much at the landing. So in my next iteration, I added 4 of these little, I think they're called Twitch, if I remember right. Um, I did this before about 3 weeks ago, and so I haven't reviewed this. I added another orange tank, and I added an action so that when I hit I think it was the brakes and lights, I can alter between turning the vectors on or off and turning the gimbaling on the vectors on and off. Same thing. So also the fuel was draining from the upper stage to the lower stage. I don't know why that's happening. I need to figure that out. But in the short term, I just turned off fuel transfers in the VAB, and so when I get out of when I detach, I have to turn them back on. And here I just circularized close enough. Do my boost back. I added 2 more of the flaps on top, if I remember right. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks like I have 6 now. So that I can have a little bit more air brake. And then when I'm getting close, I can turn the gimbal off on the vectors and just toggle between the vectors on and off if I need a lot or a little bit of slowdown. And I use the follow retrograde with the SAS booster, and I landed in the ocean. Hooray.